Today we are going to be looking at some little bits and bobs that I have crafted over the last few weeks, the last few months, years perhaps at this point, I don't know. But I did mention in a post recently that I was going to be posting this type of content as well, not just the more elaborate role plays that take a lot of time to create, because I don't want you to wait 30 days for me to upload something, and it also kind of takes the stress away from me a little bit because, like I said, it requires a lot of peace and quiet, which during the day is hard to come by. And yeah, I don't want to rush projects anymore. I want to make them, you know, something that I can look back on and be like, yeah, I really like this video. Let's see how that goes. So I figured we could try this out for a while. Maybe you'll fall asleep anyway. Maybe it'll bore you to sleep. I don't know. But I figured we'd give it a go, you know? So, starting with something that is very dear to my heart. This is going to be so incredibly niche. If you don't know it, then you're going to be like, oh wow, okay, okay. I made this little replica of the mini magic toy that was in the game Lost Records Bloom and Rage. Okay, this is what it looks like. I'm going to move my head away so you can hopefully see it as it focuses. I hope, perhaps, yes. So I made this using an old Polly Pocket case. I think that's what you'd call it. I hollowed out the inside pieces and almost snapped my finger off, but I feel like it was kind of worth it because it was really fun to make. And this is basically a toy in the game that showcases multiple places in the game. Like, this is a little witch's hut, and then we have the magical abyss. Again, you'd have to play the game to know, but we've got little crows around here. Then at the top we have a moon, which I actually can't show you the effect right now because I don't have my UV light with me, but it glows in UV light. And I really wanted to make this because I love the game so much. It is made by the same people who made the first Life is Strange games, Don't Nod Entertainment, and when I heard that they had a new game coming out, I was really excited. And I guess the way I can describe it is it feels like you're coming home to the Life is Strange universe, even though it has completely different characters and the storyline is very different, and it takes place in the 90s as well as today. So you kind of skip backwards and forwards between timelines basically, and you find out a secret and a mystery, and you get to meet the four main protagonists. They are called Swan, Nora, Cat and Autumn, and I don't want to give anything away. It's a really good game. If you don't want to play it, maybe watch a playthrough if you want to, because it's really good. And obviously, since it's Don't Nod Entertainment, it does make you cry, but you'll still be happy about it. So yeah, that's what I made. It basically looks like this. I think it's supposed to be inspired by a Polly Pocket case. This is what it looks like on the outside. And it used to be this like peach colour, like an orangey peach, and I just painted the whole thing to make it look like the object in the game. So I guess you can consider this a diorama, I think that's what they're called. I'm not quite sure. Next we have also a diorama, which unfortunately is a little bit broken because it did fall off the shelf, but it's inspired by Alice Madness Returns. Again, the video game. If you've not played it, I'm sorry, but it's fantastic. It's got playing cards down here. We've got this eye, which is inspired by one of the weapons in the game, which is a teapot. Then we have some teeth on the sides as well as this little bow and a slightly spooky looking face. And it's basically like a dark storytelling of Alice in Wonderland, as the name Alice would suggest. Now on the inside we have this. I'm gonna move out the way again, I hope it focuses. So at the very beginning of the game, when you get to Wonderland, there's this world where you see this weeping lady, which I'm assuming is Alice, I'm not quite sure. Then we have some mushrooms coming in on the sides here, and at the bottom we have the railway tracks to symbolise the train that is rushing through Wonderland in the game. Some little cards, dice, and one of these thingies, I don't know what you call those things. You basically throw a ball up and then you have to pick these things up. It's an old game, I don't know. And some roses, and some sparkles, and some paint. And this was also made from an old Polly Pocket shell because, I don't know, it's kind of fun to open and then not know what's on the inside. I wanted to make more of these, but unfortunately the 2 times I have tried to hollow out the inside since then, the actual case broke. So that was really unfortunate. I did everything I could to salvage the whole situation, but it didn't work. So usually I wear these gloves when I'm working with these projects because I also use a lot of hot glue. I use paints that shouldn't really get onto your skin, and you know, just to be on the safe side. So those are the smaller projects that I made recently. Now to some of the bigger projects which are behind me. Let me get them. So I recently purchased some trousers and I liked how they fit, but I found them to be a little bit boring. So I decided I would custom paint them. So I also added these little like bits and pieces which are just pieces from necklaces, and also like what are these called again? You know what I mean, these bits. And I wanted to make this pair of trousers a kind of spooky theme, so I looked up all sorts of spooky media. Obviously I had to include Junji Ito in some way, and just some spooky imagery that I found on random, in random places in the internet. So I painted them onto my trousers. Now, I don't know how I can show you this exactly, but this is basically the Junji Ito drawing. I can't remember her name. Is it Tomi? I don't know. But I've always liked this illustration and I never knew how to combine it with things that I wear. And I don't think that there's any merch out anywhere, like official merch, so I figured I'd paint it myself. So, as you can see, a girl with, a spooky face detaching itself from her own face. And I feel like a fake fan because I've never actually read the manga to this. I've just seen all the imagery and I loved it, so that's that. Going further down we have this like centipede-y look thing. I like it a lot. I think it looks spooky. Then going further down we have this heart shape, kind of like a with an arrow going through it. And I also added some little red beads in the centre to make it look a little bit more spooky. And the heart itself is barbed wire, because you know it looks, I don't know, I just thought it looks cool. Then some spirally swirly bits, again Genji Ito inspired, but I mean I just think spiral imagery looks cool as it is. Then I saw this really cool painting online, which again unfortunately I didn't find any merchandise of, and it was like, what are these flowers called in English? Are they called snowdrops? But they basically have, instead of having just regular petals, they have little skulls, and I thought that was nice. And at the very bottom part I added some slightly spooky looking eyes that have, well, this one has a little heart diamond, not diamond, a heart stone. I don't know if you can see this properly. I sit quite far away from the camera, so apologies if it doesn't show up. I need some glasses. Right, now the other side is also spooky. We've got some cobwebs up here, and then I added some text which it says, "There are no raindrops on roses and girls in white dresses," which is from a Panic at the Disco song from their first album. I think the song is called Build God and Then We'll Talk. Don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure. And then I made this, now what is this called in English? I don't know, but it's supposed to be one of those middle-aged weapons, except the spiky part is also a skull. I saw this design on Pinterest and it didn't have a name on it, so I unfortunately don't know the artist's name, but just know that this idea did not come from me. I just saw it and I had to have it, so I drew it myself. Further down we have a spooky little rat companion, if it will show up, I hope. I also added a little glimmering sparkly eye here as well, just because I felt like it would like it. Then we have more centipede action here, and two little like spooky masks that you would see in a theatre. By the way, if my voice is slightly croaky, I'm dealing with some sort of hay fever nonsense. First it was a cold, it goes backwards and forwards. I apologise. Second pair of trousers. This was actually the first one I painted because I wanted to test it on these, since I wasn't quite sure how the paint would work on black trousers, because you just never know how the consistency is gonna, you know, affect the fabric and whatnot. So this is a grey pair of trousers, and again on this one I saw the imagery on Pinterest, and for some reason people never leave the artist's name underneath. So again, if you know, I don't know, I found the images, I thought they were cool, so I painted them on my pants. If you happen to be the artist, you're fantastic and I think your work is great. I wish people left your name there, because I don't like taking designs from other people. So first, oh, you can hardly see, there we go, is a sword which goes down pretty much the entire upper leg, and I just like the design of it because it looked kind of whimsical and like it would be like a fantasy sword, you know what I mean? I like that a lot. But then this image has been floating around a lot as well, or at least a variation of it. I slightly changed the background, but this was like a kind of like a church window, I suppose, but instead of having just a window in there, I painted this scenic view of a beach at night. And yeah, basically this is the full look. And then on the other side, I felt like the top part of it was a little bit empty looking, so I added this little like heart with wings that I also saw on Pinterest. And then you've probably seen millions of variations of this. I wanted a biblically accurate angel type of thing going on here because I find the illustration so freaky but also so beautiful at the same time. So I added that there. And yeah, I really like it a lot. And then going down we have this random, I don't think this is going to pick up that well, but it's like a random heart shape which is somewhat inspired by like cyber sigilism tattoos, which I feel like made a comeback last year. I saw a lot of people getting them and I just cannot commit to a tattoo at the moment, so I figured I'd try out the trousers first. Next up we have this jacket, which I painted at the back of, and again this is kind of like a biblically accurate angel situation. I'll just kind of hold it up so that you can see. So some of the details are not only painted, but as you can hear, I added some beads like up here, just, there we go. You can see the star above here, and then the inside, the heart, as well as the star at the bottom there. So I made that as well. I've just recently been very into customizing my things because I feel like it's nice to just have a unique piece that nobody else has. So that is that. Now, these things I didn't make myself, but these are some of the things that I would use to add as little details to my clothing. I think I'm going to actually do my my everyday bag next, because right now it's just a very simple black bag, but I really want to add more fun details. So we've got little fun gemstones, not gemstones, beads in here. I wish I could add gemstones, but that would be quite expensive. Yeah, all sorts of different colours, shapes and sizes. I also have these little sequins in here as well, and they're all sorts of different colours. We've got some leaves, butterflies, flowers, stars, planets, all sorts. So these are some of the bits and pieces that I've been making. I really want to make more, but obviously time is an enemy of mine. But yeah, I thought I'd take you through a little show and tell of what I've been making. I really want to make more for my upcoming new Dragon Tamer video, You probably also know that I've been working with Blender for a bit, as best I can. I've never had a proper education in it or anything, but I watch a lot of tutorials, and I think it would be nice to not only have the visual effects from animating them, but also having, you know, touchable real things, you know? So I'm probably going to be making some new dragon eggs, perhaps with some cool special effects. We will see. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you sleep well. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.